Hello, welcome to Spy Morning. Hope you had a good night last night. If you were trading Angular, you had a good night last night. So let's go ahead and get into the chart and check it out. So here we are on the Angular, and let's. A lot of people start about London session, and so I'm just going to start at London, and I'll let you see. I mean, overnight it actually. There was a lot of chop, but it still made money through the night. So if you traded in the middle of the night, then you're fine. A lot of people will start about 2:30 or so in the morning. I personally, whenever I trade the London, I start about 3. So if you went ahead and traded it, so we'll just draw out and see what your max would be. Our target during the U.S. Open is around $500. In the London session, usually you can't go $500, but let's just see how it worked out today. So that one you would have got it, and this one you would have almost got it. Again, we don't trade the for the 500 on the London. This one right here just was, as soon as you entered, it just pulled back, so you would have lost a little bit of money there. This one, 245. This one, you wouldn't have got out right there. Your stop wouldn't have got you. So you would be looking right here. So you would have got your 500 and almost got your 500. Again, you lowered your amount on the London session because it just doesn't move quite as much. That one you probably would have break even or maybe even lost a little bit. This one here, I don't know if I'd have got out or not, but we'll just go ahead and play it like you did. And so you would have got your 500 here, not there. London session, I think if you go for like $300 or $400 a trade, then usually you're pretty good. You can always go for more. This one was double, $1,000 right there. And then we had another one that went in right there. So when you start seeing that it's not popping up quite enough, the best thing to do is just stay in the trade, because like yesterday, these yellow lines, that's what we drew yesterday morning. They are still playing support and resistance right now. So if I had got in this, I would not have got out here. I would have stayed in. I would have stayed in this whole way through. Worst case scenario is I would have been out, I don't know, maybe wrong through there, so I would have got the 255 in here. But more than likely, I would have played this off to this up here. My SPY money zones are right here, so that would be a good place to play it anyway. So if you would have had your $500 trade through here somewhere. But we're not going to count that one because that's not the signals. You come down here. This one would have been a break-even trade probably. You might have made a little bit, but more than likely a break-even. There's almost your 500. Again, you want to go $300 or $400 on your London. This one I would have stayed in the whole time. So right there's your 340, and then you've got 425. So let's go ahead and take it up to where we are now. This one right here, I actually got in and broke even on that. I didn't lose money, I just broke even. And I just got out of this trade. I played it down to, my stop was about right here. So I picked up a couple $100 there, but it's still in play. There's your 500. The reason I got out right here is I put my stop down inside of the support zone. Is where I put it. And the reason I did is because I thought that possibly this might come down into it and pop right back up. So I put a tight stop and took my money. So you don't always get it, and it kind of depends on what you're playing. In this case, I would have made my $500. And as far as, because I actually had my profit target down here on the SPY money balance is where I had my target. But I would have had if this would have kept on dropping and not stopped me out there, it stopped me on that one candle right there. And here I will show you on this one right here, I stopped out right there. I should have put my stop right above the zone, but I didn't. I wanted to secure profit. And if I would have, I'd probably still be in the trade right now, maybe stopped out right here and got my $500. So $500 is kind of my ultimate goal that I want, but you're not always going to get that. And that's the thing. Once you go in, maybe your signals are a little bit different and you want to protect that profit. So you go ahead and jump in with your stop a little bit tight just to protect it. And I did that and I lost potential profit here. If this zone had not been here, I would not have done it. I probably would have just candle chased all the way down. That was my first trade, well, actually my second trade of the day. And right up here, I did about a break even, and then I made a little bit here. Whenever I start, a lot of people ask me, how many contracts do you trade? Well, today I started off one contract because the volume was kind of low. And so I went one contract. Sometimes I'll start off two, sometimes four, but usually never more than four contracts is where I start off. Once I pad my account a little bit, get some green going, showing some profit and so forth, maybe I get up to, I don't know, $500 or so, and then I'll jump up and maybe go to four contracts, sometimes 1,000. And then whenever I get over 1,000, then that's when I'll start doing, larger lots. So right now, I would have been better off to have stayed in. It's going right to the balance like I thought. But again, I stopped out right here. Would I get in right here? No, it's too close. There's not enough risk to reward for me. There's 70 down. So it's 14 points is the risk and reward on it. And this could easily pull right back out and jump up off of this. So more than likely, it's going to go to the balance. And possibly you down here. But there's too many supports down through here. We had one here, one here, one here, and then it's going to here. See how it pulled back? So I chose not to go in because of that. Once it dropped out of this zone, that would have probably been okay, but you're 85 there and 74, so you're about 10 points there, and it just, for me, it wasn't enough for me to get in. So you got to play it for how you want to trade. Every trader is different. Some people would have jumped in 10 contracts here and just let it go, or even 50 or whatever. For me, it's just the volume's not there for me. So overnight, it actually did really well as far as loser trades and break evens and such. So let's see what we got there. We'll call it winners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, if we do the 500, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. This would have actually been a play, but we won't count it. Let's see, you got 4, 5. You got 5 $500 winners so far. That's 2,500. Several of those would have been $200, $300, $400. And then you also have several break-evens. Let's count up the losers. The losers would be, right there is going to be a loser. And there's a loser. So you've got 2 losers out of the whole thing. And the loser would probably be right at about a 20, so the loser be right at about $100 is how much the losers would be on this chart. So you'd have $200 in losers. You'd have 5 $500 ones. Now let's count up if you did 400. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 $400 winners. So that's $3,600 if you just traded every one of them. $3,600 plus there's some break evens, but you'd also make a look, like $100, $200 on some of them. So, and then minus your $200 loss. So, I mean, you would have done very well. If you just went for $400 every time, that would do it. Now, if you candle chased it, you could have got a little more than that. If you candle chase, you could have done a little better, because right here, you know, if you just let it go, this one, if I'd got in, I wouldn't have been. That's 4 in the morning. But if I had got in here, I would have been looking for here. I don't, well, actually the balance is right here, so I would have kept a tight on the balance, but my profit target probably would have been a little higher, because you're going up right here. Your trend is up. And that's why it was hard for me to play this one, because the trend has been going up the whole time. But it looks like we're trying to come down to the balance. But see, if you'd got in a short right there, you would have stopped out already. You'd either lost money or you would have broke even. So when you get this far into the trade, don't keep trying to trade it. Just go ahead and wait on the reversal. Wait for it to turn orange and then get into the next trade. So right now I'm going to let this run just a little bit and see what happens. I got to switch something around here, so bear with me in 1 second. There we go. I had to change something on the chart. So right now we're on a different time frame than I normally trade, just because of the volume. This one allows me to get into a few more trades. Actually, there's a trade right there I didn't even mark by accident. You'd have made a little bit, possibly a break even, one of the two. You might have broke even. You wouldn't have lost money there, but it'd been either a break even or a $50 or $100 profit. So all you got to do is, with having the angler on there for your entry, and then have your zones and balance for your exits, that's really about all you need. You don't need any other lines on your chart or nothing like that. You can even turn these off if you don't want those. So if you just want to change those, hang on a second here. So right here we can go ahead and take some of this stuff off. Let's just say you don't want the color background at all. I like it because when I start seeing them real close to each other, that's giving me a better visual to not do it. But you can turn the background off if you want to make a cleaner chart for you. You can use the histogram instead and the color bars. Now, if you don't want the color bars, you just turn the color bars off and they go back to just your regular candles. That'll show you your bullish and bearish candles. And some people don't want the arrows, which is these right here. They maybe don't want the arrows. You can turn those off. You can turn the histogram off if you want. Of course, now you have no angler. And then if you want, say, the color bars on only, then you turn those on, and then you'll have the color bars, but no histogram, no background. So you can do a lot of things. I really like seeing the histogram, though. It's a good visual. When I start seeing this right here, that tells me that we're probably, possibly going to reverse. And the only thing this does is work off of the moving average that you choose, and it works on the degree. So you can change the entry for the degree and exit degree. This is probably going to come right down to the SPY money balance. That's more than likely where we're going. You can see how I just laid on it right here. It's coming back to retest it and then possibly go higher. So I'm going to turn everything on the way I like. Now, one thing you can do, some people will run it this way. I don't. That's too much for me. Instead of having a one bar in here, you can change this to where the whole background is, like that. Now, for me, that's just too much for me, but some people just want to trade the background, and then they can turn the color bars off. That way they can see if it is a bullish or bearish candle, and then they're just looking at the background. You can also change the opacity of the background. So let's say we want it lighter. You can turn that back down a little bit. So just to let you see it even more, you go down to a 5%. I can't see a 5. Let's do a 10. There you can see a 10. 30 is the default setting. But if you want to see the bearish and bullish bars, you can, and still see what color you're supposed to be. This is actually probably a good setup doing it this way. That way you can actually read the candlesticks and see what's going on. Like right there's a hammer. That's a good indication we're going to reverse. So I may leave it this way just a little bit, because I really like reading the candles. If you had a color bar, this would be red, which would not tell you if it's a bullish or bearish. But when you see that hammer, that's a good indication it's going to go up. And I have another indicator. It's called the Edge Finder. And this one will put the arrows right here. So this blue one means it is bullish because we have candle patterns for it. The same thing here. It's not always right, and that's the reason you need to know where your support and resistance is. If I had this signal here to go long, I would not be going long. This one right here, I would. We've got our zone. This one right here, I would go short because we're in a downtrend. You would have made just a little bit because the signal is at the top of that bar. And then you have another one here. You got this zone up here that's in the past. So I would not have taken this one here. So just because you get a signal off of a bar does not necessarily mean that you should enter that trade. So this one right here I would, because we had that other support. We've got our yellow line, so I would have taken a long off of this. But as you can see, Angler did not say long yet. It knew that there was some chop in here. This one right here, as far as a short, I probably would have taken that short only because we have the line there. That would be the short would have signaled right here, but I would have had a stop right there, so I wouldn't have had much of a loss at all. This one I would not have taken a long because we don't have any support here. This one right here, yes, I would have taken that short because we had our resistance. And let's look at it. Let's look at it like during the open to see what it looks like. Now this is a different time frame that I trade in the open, but just to let you see what it would be. This one right here, I would have taken that short. I would have ended up getting just a little bit of profit or a break even. This one I would not have taken that long only because we're in that resistance. So come over here, this one here, I would not have taken the short only because we're showing bullish. So just because you get the signal don't always mean that's what you should do. I would not have taken it here. I probably would have here because we're bouncing off of that. We got their signal bar there. It was actually up here is where your long was. So it would have been a small stop out. Right here, I would not have taken that short yet because we're not up there. But as you can see, the Angler does a better job at the signals than what the Edge Finder does. The Edge Finder does really well, but you still have to watch your directions. And it's finding like the top and the bottom is what it's trying to find. This one right here, you would have stopped out on that. This one right here actually played out, but where it's in the downtrend, no support, I would not have taken it. It would have been a winner, but I wouldn't have taken it. But right here, we've got our support, and we can take this one out now. We don't need that. We've got our resistance, not support, so I would have been taking these. This one here, no, but when it come back up to here, and we see that, so if we went back over here, right there is our resistance, and you can see the edge finder made you 2 good trades. So you have to do a little more charting when you're using the edge finder. Same thing with here. We've got our resistance here. Right there is a good short. So there's 3 shorts right there from 944 to 949, and just off of those, the signal's at the top of the bar. The bottom of the bar here, and it would have been right here. So there's, you know what, $7, $13, $17 or $1,800 max profits you could have got there. So the edge finder actually works pretty good. By far, the angular is my best indicator. There's some false signals in here. You wouldn't have taken these longs right here because we have no support. You know, we're looking for support before we can take anything. So this one right here, I would have taken that short. You would have made a little bit of money. And this one here, I would have taken the short, made some money. Now when we come down, this one I would not have. But this one I would have taken the long because we're building our support. So you could have made a little bit of money right there. You could have made a little bit of money here. I would have taken both of these because we have our support. And then when we come over, this one here, we're in an uptrend. So yes, I would have taken that one too. I would not have taken that short. So that just gives you an idea of some of the different indicators. We have a lot of good ones. And come back in here. By far, the best indicators would be the balance, zones, and angular. If I had to pick one, if you're on a tight budget, if I had to pick one to trade from, it would be the angular. The angular is the best. It gives you good entries. With those entries, you can come out and make quite a bit of money using it. Just with it only. To see how we're consolidating through here, all range. This is accumulation to either go long or short. We don't know which way yet. More than likely, it's probably going to be long. Right there, it's showing a long. So you have been long at 72.75, and so you're up quite a bit there. If you miss your entry, you're better off to wait for the pullback. You don't jump in once it's up there. You've already missed, possibly the whole trade. Because again, remember, we're in low volume. So this one right here, like I said, I wouldn't have taken that because our balance is right there. There's not enough on the plate to take that trade. Once we went over this, I think that was a good trade. I didn't take it, but I do believe that was a good trade. You could have made just a little bit. But where we have this range, it always concerns me for that pop-up. See, I would be looking to get in the second one. So I'm a little concerned about this one here. We've got a little range. I think I just pass on this one because I still think we'll come down to the balance. This may just pop up a little bit and then just slam down. So I would not be in a trade there. I'm not in a trade for that reason. And I may miss the trade, and that's fine. Won't be the first one I've missed. Trade conservative, you don't lose money. Now on my regular time frame that I trade, it's still showing short. This time frame will give you a faster entry, but sometimes chop. It won't keep you out of the chop sometimes. See how this is flickering back and forth all through here? So let me change it over to the other one. There we go. So we're still sort of short. I really don't like that background. It's just too much for me. And I really like the color bars. It's much easier for me to study. Green is long, red is short, orange, beware. It's like a stop sign. Or not a stop sign, but a traffic light. Caution. That's why I put it orange. Now you can change these colors if you want. Change them anything you want. You change the background colors, histogram colors, or the candlestick colors. You can change any of them. I was looking at a separate chart and it showed a different signal. So I reset the data. And it turned out I had different signals, a lot different signals on my other chart. I'm going to compare them a little bit and see what happens here. As far as all these settings and so forth, yes, I share them with everyone that leases Angular. Everyone gets them. As I find new settings, I post them in the course, and I email everybody and let everybody know that, hey, I found some new settings. If a user finds some settings that work really well, then I go ahead and post those settings as well. As you can see, now we're starting to go up there. Now you can put this to where it's looking for the signal on bar close or on each tick. You can do on each tick and get in quicker. Like right now, this is showing that's going to be a green bar. Well, on the other chart I have. But it would only turn long if it was a closed bar, closed high. If it closes lower, it won't be. So on each tick, you can have some false signals. So I trade it on bar close. That's how I trade it. But I am comparing another chart. I've got it so that it will get in the entry a little bit quicker. It actually works pretty good. If y'all have any questions or anything, let me know. Not very many people on here today. Probably too early for most. As you can see, we come down almost to the balance, then we pull back. It give a signal on the other time frame to go long here, and I told you I didn't think I wanted to do it because I thought it might pull back. This time frame never give the signal for the long. Looks like it's going to try to run. Come right down in it. We need to break out of this in order for it to run. I'm still not convinced it won't come down to the balance. Having a hard time pushing up. There's just no buyers there. Looks like there's more sellers and that they're pushing it down. Just can't get the buyers in there. Yeah, sellers pushing it. Back down to the SPY money balance. That's where we're going. That loan may be good, but I just don't feel good about it. Yeah, I don't feel good about those. I think we're still going to come down here. 424 is a support that it may come down to. A lot of big wicks up on top. That's a sign of sellers pushing it down. Every time the buyers try to push it up, the sellers slap it down. I like to see it touch the balance first. But if it goes to the balance, there's a good chance it may go down to 424. 424.75 would be the top of the zone. $424 would be a good spot for it to go down to. A lot of chop right there. Looking at different time frames on my other chart, other monitor. All of them show kind of bullish, but I don't know, just got a feeling it's just going to slam down. I don't know. Angler's right. I was wrong. $500 would be, well, where would 500 be? Almost there. So 500 would get you to right there. News just come out. Biden says to expect to pay higher taxes for as long as it takes. What a crock. Complete crock. No new taxes is all I ever heard. And that's all they're talking about. I'm watching the NASDAQ, Tony. Sorry, I just saw your message. If you look at the price index over here, you can always tell what we're on. Plus down here on the bottom left. Probably a retracement down to the balance. That's what I'm looking at. I've been up for a while. I went to bed early last night. I was tired. I went to bed, I think 9:30, probably 9:30. I was just tired. I'd like to see us go down and hit that lower level of the 424. Anybody sell anything on Facebook Marketplace? Isn't that a real treat? Probably one of the worst experiences you'll ever have. The favored message is it available? And then the second one is, how much is it? And the third one is, anything wrong with it? People don't read. People don't read, and in my courses, I have videos that explain everything. And people will send me questions wanting to know how to do something. And they want me to help them instead of them helping themselves to the video that I've already taught them how to do it. So I always refer everybody back to watch the video. And people want you to hold their hand, and we're all adults, and we can't hold hands in this. You gotta be adults. Our Discord's kind of the same way. A lot of kids in there. We're weeding out the kids. Got to be adults. This is a lot of money you're talking about. You need to, before you use a bot or an indicator or whatever, you need to learn how to use it. And there's nothing wrong with practicing on Sim until you get consistent and then go to your live account. Anybody tell you not to trade Sim is not very smart. Trade Sim, learn how to use it before you go over to a funded account or a live account. A lot of people want to lease the bot, and then they think they can install the bot and immediately just start making money. You got to practice. You got to learn how to use it. Same with this indicator. Anything you use, you need to learn how to use it. You need to know your support and resistance lines. These indicators will show you where they are. And once you know that, then it makes trading a lot easier. See how we're starting to pull back now? Remember when I said I think we'll pull back to here? I wouldn't know that if I didn't have the balance or zones. That's how I knew that we would probably pull back. Our first level is this right here, the 74. And once we go through that, we have the new zone of 57. So if you're trading and you're in a short right now, you need to get your stop down there pretty close to that yellow line. You may get stopped out before it drops, but you're going to secure that profit. You got to secure profits, guys. So my stop right now is at 74. That's where it is. And once we get down here close to that green, then I'm going to put my stop down there. I'm only too short. I'm up like 705. All right, so right there, my stop is at 67.50 and just got stopped out. Why did I put it there and not wait for the balance? Because that zone could easily pop out right here. And I'm not willing to give up this profit right here. Just to give you an idea of how much profit that is from here to there is $135. That's $270 on 2 contracts, which is what I was in. Right there is, so you call it $400, but my stop is right here. That's where my stop was. I put my stop right at the top of that. When it pushed down, my stop went right there at 67.25, and that's where I got stopped out. I don't have to have this right here. So that much right there down to there is another 410 or 420 for 2 contracts. But I don't have to have this much right here. Now, right there at the very bottom was another 150 that I could have had if I was perfect and got the bottom, which none of us are. Now, more than likely, this will pop up and this will come right on down, and it may come right on down to here. And if it does, it does. I'm a scalper. I don't have to have that whole thing. If I get, 20, 30, 40% of the trade, I'm happy as can be. There's a YouTube video that I have that I made years ago. Let me see if I can find it. It's called the 70-30 rule. Let's see here, 70. Yeah, right there. I will I'll put it in this link right here so you can watch it. The 70-30 rule, what it amounts to is this. So if we're in this short here, and let's just say right here is 0, or right here is 100. We want to get in about 30% of the way, and we want to get out about 70% of the way. It's the 70-30 rule. So if you take 40% of the trade, you're going to make money. So like this one here, you are $12.80. So if you took 40% of that, that would be roughly $500. That's about what you made. Now this one, right here, if you would have got in, these data things are based on a different chart. But if you got in right there, so right there is 745. So we're only looking for $500 for 40%. Take 40% of the move and be happy. And see how we're coming back down? Usually when it hits this, it'll come up and then pull back down. But sometimes it just pulls back. Secure your profits. What's wrong with taking, you know, what I take, like $700 or something in there, or $800? I don't know what I took. See that one right there. If I go back and look at my data, it says I got in right there, and I took out right there. So that was my trade, but I'm trading a different chart, guys. So that's what's that going to be? $790 or $780 I made on it because I was too short. That was my trade. I'm trading a different chart. I'm trading some different levels. I'm actually practicing on a different different settings. That if it works out good, then I'm gonna go ahead and post it on the website. Now this one that I'm looking at, put my entry right here, and it would still be in a short. So that was the entry right here on my other settings that I'm using. Y'all got any questions or anything? So we're getting close to that balance. We didn't hit it yet. We're close though. There, we went through. Yeah, Tony, the zones are just incredible. It really does help you. And we're probably going down to that 424. And these zones are based off from previous. I tell you what, I'm going to delete all that. Actually, no, I don't want to delete that because I want my yellow ones on there. Let's see here. I'm going to take this one. I don't want to lose those yellow lines. Let's the support and resistance we drew out yesterday morning, as you can see, is still playing out to this day. Don't want to give those up. But our zones go back and they're looking for price action of previous candles. That's what we're looking for. So it's picking up all of these wicks and stuff. And this one here, we've created a new zone based off of this right here. And we created that zone based off of this. So when you know where your support and resistance lines are, that's what's going to help you. This one right here, if you look real close, I'll make it bigger so you can really see it, is we picked up this one here, and then we come right back up into it, right back into it, broke through it, and then it created a new one. The zones, one of the most important things you'll ever have. And then if we turn previous levels off, actually before I do that, let me show you what the balance does. Those are a little bit tight, but they played out. Let me go to a little bit further back. Let's go like 3 days. When I'm trading, I like to have one 0 or 1. Educational class. Yeah, I have courses on my website you can go to. You look in the description, there's different ones. Probably the best thing to do, because I'm really focusing my attention on the Angular, and that is probably going to be the best thing you could do, because I'm going to have live training with Angular to help out, and it's not going to be for the public. It's just for the people leasing the indicator. But we're going to be doing that real soon. I'll probably start one today, and they're live, so you'll be able to ask questions like it is now. There's no delay in the live training, so as soon as you ask a question, I'm on it. YouTube, there's about 30-second delay. That's what they do. But on each indicator that you lease or purchase, now Angular is only for lease, but the zones you can lease or purchase. Then I've got to make a YouTube video, or not YouTube, but a live training video for it today, and put it on there to explain more of how to use it. It's a brand new indicator that I've come out with probably a month ago. I didn't release it until a few days ago. I had some things I needed to check on it. But as you can see, I mean, this is probably coming right down to it. And if you look at this way, you've got a two-leg pullback there. So if you do that, you come down. Right here is about where the second leg is, but we have this zone, so I would say it will probably blow through it down to at least this zone. But that is your two-leg pullback. Another thing you can do is this right here. So that puts our zone right here as well. So the top of this green is where I would be looking to get out, which is 424.25. That's probably where it's going to be. Now, would I hop in a short at this very moment? No, because the signal's already done. I got to wait on new trade. As soon as I get out, I wait on new trade. If you try to get in right now, you're just going to be playing the market maker's game about getting stopped out. So with me, my entry was right here because I'm using different settings. I'm not using the settings that are on this chart. I'm using different ones. And actually, I am using this one right here. So this was the chart that I'm looking at. Now see, there's a lot of false signals in here, but if you're able to look for the trend, you can figure out where to go. And we knew, based on this leg, this is probably where we're going up to. You could get in on a pullback. That's your choice. That's a different strategy, which I don't really get in here. But see, by knowing how to draw out these legs and everything, that told us where we were going. And then as soon as we got in, that told me that we needed to go short. And we also have this shooting star right here. So that shooting star right there is bearish, which tells us to go down. So if we would go back up to this other indicator I've got. So no, it's not, must have closed bullish. Must have closed bullish because that should have been a signal. I can't see the color of the candle. So this must have closed bullish. No, I see now. It's not. A shooting star has to be 3 times the body above it, and there's not 3 times there. That's why. But playing this by me looking at it, I would have played that as a short. But again, this is a totally different time frame and everything. This is not anything that I'm teaching in the people that's using the Angular. I'm not teaching anybody these settings yet. I have to test, and when I test, I live trade it too. So if I'm willing to put money on my testing, then I'm willing to show people. But a pullback to the balance is a possibility. But in my opinion, your signal's already done. If you got out of the trade, just stay out and wait on the next one. We have a Discord that you can join if you like. I'll give a link for it. No drama, please. I don't need the drama. If you're a drama queen, just don't even go. Because it won't be long, you'll be kicked out of it. I don't need the drama. Don't need the negativity. I don't want all that. It's not good for anybody. I ban people all the time because they can't act right. Just have no tolerance for idiots. None. If you can't act right, you shouldn't even try to apply. It's free. I don't charge for it. I'll give you a link if you want to join it. But again, if you're one of those people that just want to ask questions to be asking a question that you don't even have any intentions of buying, leasing, or wanting to know or whatever, just don't ask. I don't need the Facebook people in there. And I don't mean to sound negative about it. I just like to let people know right up front. If you want to join the Discord, you can join right there. It's free. No obligation. See, we're coming right down to it, guys. Now, I didn't enter the second time. I exited right here only because of this. There was a lot of stuff going on here, and I wasn't willing to give up the profit I was in. And look what I missed. I'm okay. So to right there is 745 that I missed. And it's probably going down to at least right there, which would be 870 I missed. Now it's 2 contracts, that's $1,700. Let's see, 980, yeah, about $1,700 I missed out on. Just wait on the next signal. In our Discord, I'm spending more time on the website and also on my YouTube channel. I'm spending more time there than I'm in Discord. Discord's a good place to post some new stuff coming up or whatever, and just showing some trades or whatever. No, non-nurse. I bet you're at work right now. The job, the job. If I had my Mercedes back from the shop getting those bushings put in, I wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I'd already be home. I'd be heading back to South Carolina. I'm ready to go. I may have to have you bring me back tonight. Pick up the car and bring it back, if you don't mind. Hey, I've been here for a week. You got to make time. See right here, we almost hit this, so I think we may come up and test that balance and then come right back down. I wouldn't be going long here. This right here is all of these shorts right here. They're covering a lot of their positions. See how they got real close? They know where all the sellers are. So a lot of institutions will start covering and it pushes up, and then you'll get all these people, the retailers, will start buying in here, thinking it's reversing, and it's not. Yeah, it's a lower high. You got a high, lower high, lower high. Let me look on another chart because I really can't see it. I need no, hammer's got to be over 200% of the body, so that's only about 125%. But it did close green. Now this is a hammer. This one right here. But I need at least 5 bars back that this is the low. So we got 1, 2, 3. So the third one is lower, so I don't count it. Now, if this one wasn't there and this one wasn't here, and let's say it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I'd consider it a hammer. I like 5 bars back. 5 bars back will usually keep you out of chop. Now I'll show you this. I have an indicator that, see my 5 bars? So any kind of reversal signal, I'm looking for 5 bars back. That's what I'm looking for. Tony, I just figured out who you were. I know who you are now. I was looking at the first name, wasn't looking at the last name. Your name's different than what I'm used to seeing. I hope your daughter's doing well with this. I know she's trading with you. I hope you guys are making a lot of money. I'm back and forth if I'm going to build a bot for Angular. So now we're back up to the balance. So probably we'll bounce right on through here and come back down. Because we didn't hit it. This is all the shorts that are covering. They'll get up here and then they'll run it right back down. But if we look at our second leg, we're on that second leg right there, just below it. So we have it's hard to get people to watch videos. It's like pulling teeth to get everybody to watch them. But I tell you what I'm thinking about doing is we have a lot of good bots, and I'm going to leave the bots up there. But you got to know how to use them. Some people just can't grasp it. But I think what I'm going to do is build a bot for Angular. And I'm going to focus my attention on Angular. Angular is a great indicator. It's the best I've got. And in combination with balance and zones works excellent. So, but I think if I do the bot, then there's going to be 3 bot prices. One is the premium, and that gets you all the courses, discounts on indicators, and so forth. And then we have the basic one that doesn't give the discounts or the courses. So that's a little bit cheaper. And then if I build the Angular, you're going to have a third choice, and that's to lease Angular bot only. And I think that's the direction I'm going to go. If I go ahead and, because Angular indicator is great, but sometimes getting in the entry, these, depending on what time frame you're on, sometimes it's hard to get in that. But once you get in the trade, you need to manage it. Now, the bot is going to have your regular profit targets and all that stuff that you can choose. So if you're wanting the $500 one, then you can just pick your profit target is $500 and that's it. Or if you want 200, 300, whatever you want per contract. And then the stop will do the candle chasing, and you can also do the tick trail. You can do the ATR trail, and then you can just do a fixed stop to where you automatically do it. You can also have a break even to where it'll come in, and also the P&L. So if you've got your profit and loss, if you've got to where you want to make, say, $1,000 a day, you can set the P&L when it hits $1,000, it shuts off. Or if you lose, say, $500, it will shut off. So, and I really think that Angular is all we need. And again, we've got some really good bots in there, and I'm going to leave them up for whoever leases the bots. But this is really, in my opinion, the only one you need. You only need one good strategy. That's all you need. And if you have one good strategy and you stick to that strategy and you learn that strategy, you're going to make money. You've got to learn that one. And I think part of the problem with my bots is I have over a dozen bots, and people get overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. So like, for instance, the mover bot. You can run the mover bot on the settings for the ES in the US Open that I have. You can run that one, and that's all you run, and you'll make money every day. And if you just do that only, you're going to be good. Another good one is the inside bars. That thing works great. The new settings that I put on there, the new entry, which does the previous bar, that is really good. It makes a lot of money. But I think the biggest problem is there's so much information there, so many different videos, that people get overwhelmed and just kind of lose sight of where they need to be. So with Angular, really Angular, there's one strategy. You get in short here, you get in long there. Both of these paid off. This one right here would have been right there, and it went up to there. There's $3.95. If you'd have played a $300 trade on these, you'd have made money almost every single trade that it took. This one here, you'd enter here, and it went all the way down to $8.95. Now, if you have your zones and your balance on here, that allows you to find where your targets ought to be. That's a good reason, a good way to do it. I've never put it on here, but I'm going to do something. I'm gonna put the shaker on here, and I'm just going to make it for to see what the targets would be. Let me find it. There it is. So, and I'm just going to use 2 targets. So right here is the shaker line. So see how it came down and played off from it? Well, according to the shaker, our target is here, which coincidentally is right on that yellow line. That's where the first target for shaker would be. And look at here. Let me turn on some more of these lines. These are targets that we're looking for. So see how we went up and hit that? We come back down to it. We come right down to this one, come down to it, come down to it, right back up to it. You know, these levels on the shaker really work good. So we've got a lot of great indicators, a lot of great ones. But you know, you can have too much on your chart. You can have way too much. So if you have the shaker indicator, throw it on there and look at it if you want. If that's something that you feel that you can trade with, then go ahead and do it. I like levels. That's what I like. I like to know my zones. I like to know levels. Another one that we have is called Ranger. And Ranger, what I did, and I didn't put it on today's, but I'm going to put it on here. And it shows, I've got, let's see, levels. And we're going to do, yeah, I'll do that one right there. So I don't need the mid. Actually, if we put this on and I put it on London. Okay, so right there it is. So on London, I know we have these other yellow lines. They go all the way across. Those are manually drawn. But these levels right here, these three, this is the opening range of the London Open. So what I've done is I turned on the opening range, and I turned on the previous day high, the previous day low, the pre-market levels, and the session level. So here's the session low, and the pre-market low is right here. Then you've got your previous day low is right here. Look how these zones are playing out with those particular levels on Ranger. Now, Ranger doesn't put the zones for, like these zones right here. They have zones based on the opening range. And they're really good zones, but they're not zones based off of price action. But these zones are based on price action. So then if we go on up, we'll see that we have a session high, and the pre-market high is right there. Look at that zone. And we've also got, using the how to trade the two-step, these zones, puts it right here too. There's so many ways to trade, and it's just a matter of, you know, picking what works for you. I can teach it till I'm blue in the face, and unless you grasp it, you won't know. So if we take this one out, because we fulfilled this leg here, there's one, pull back, two. So here's A, B, C, D. Now we're looking for A, B. So this will be A, and then B to go back up. I'm sorry, I told you wrong. See, it's A, B, C, D, and then A, B, C. Yeah. So this will be on your pullback would be A, B, C. Now we're looking for A, B, C, D again. So here will be, wherever this goes will be A, and then we pull back to B, and then we're going up to C. So A, B, C, D. There it is. A, B, C, D. So more than likely, this may be the pullback for the long, to start the long. So we got to find out. More than what I think is we're still going to come down and visit this. Maybe not. We may go right up here and then pull back again. And if we look at this other way, if we take this one out, if we come in here, and I'm not a Elliott wave person. It's just, I mean, you can ask 10 different people that trade Elliott waves, and you'll have 10 different answers of where ABCD is. You know, you can read it any way you want to read it. And I just don't, I never could find consistency with it to do it. Everybody's got a different answer. So I just don't even try. I never could get any consistency with it. That's just me though. But what I do have consistency with is Angular. Angular is good, and if you look at your levels, you can kind of know where you're going. Now this level here was not there before, but now we've got our pivot point here that's showing up. That's a floor trader pivot point. That's found on Ranger. So now we're inside the battle zone, as I call it. And if we hit that and start coming down, we're looking for this level here, which would be pre-market low, session low, and also opening range low. So if we did a pullback to, or sorry, we did that pullback to there. So, and look at there. See, it puts us right there. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and it'll sometimes overshoot. Like this one overshot that one. So we're just stair-stepping down. Another chart that I'm looking at is showing a pullback here. So I'm going to take a break here, and I'll be back in a little bit. I'll leave this up so you can watch it. Okay, I'm back, guys. Had to take care of some things. So we didn't pull back like I was thinking we would. We ended up doing the reversal. I personally probably would have maybe a break even. I probably would have lost on that. And then right there, you would have got your $500. And we're back to the start of the U.S. Open balance. Non-nurse, these are the settings I have posted in the website. So if you look on the indicator course, those are the settings I'm using right here. So I missed this trade. I was away. Right now we are past 8:30, so 8:30 was right here, and then they ran it. So I missed that one. So we're at the top of that zone. We're going to break it and run on up. I don't know. If we look at our two-step here, or not two-step, but two-leg pullback, we are looking to probably go up to, we'll probably go back up to that yellow line. But I couldn't go in a trade here because I missed my entry. The entry's down here. Entry's there, stops below. So you would have been fine. In this case, I might have even moved my stop just a little bit lower below the balance, but the stop would have been here. So I missed it. I missed this part of the trade, and then I missed these because I was away. I found me a lawnmower. I'm going to go buy it. I've been looking for a used one for a while. Found me a John Deere zero turn. $2,500 for a zero turn. That's pretty cheap. I bought an Aries zero turn. See how it's pulling back now? I bought an Aries zero turn. I paid $4,800 for it. Bought it at Lowe's. Aries makes gravely, so I felt good. The decks and everything were, they were tough as nails. And so I went ahead and bought it home. I ran one pass around the yard, belt came off, and I thought, well, maybe they did something wrong. I don't know. Put the belt back on, took off, belt came off, and I thought, screw this. So I took it back. I thought, I'm not fighting a belt from day one. That's why I bought a new one. I didn't want to fight the belt. So this one, the guy's just buying a bigger mower. So he must have a decent sized yard, but it's like 50, I think it's 54 inch. It's too big for the yard I've got, but in time, yeah, it's 54 inch cut. Only got 170 hours, so that's nothing. So right now we're pulling back. We went up. You look back here, you can see that we double topped right there. So just so you can see it better, we hit it and then reversed. There's a lot of levels on this chart to look for. Oops. I deleted the wrong thing. So let me add that zones back on. We got to have our zones. We can't trade without zones. There we go. Cannot trade without our zones. So here's our main zone. It's a big one too. You gotta remember this is based on 5-minute time frame. That's what we're trading on. The zones. Now if you want, you can change the zones to trade the time frame you're on if you want. So right here is the zones for the time frame we're trading. So this zone was already there. We didn't break through, so it's still there. Still claims it as a zone. We have a little one right here, and then we have one here. So you can trade this based on any time, any kind of zone. You could trade it on, let's say you wanted, let me go back over here and make sure I'm not missing comments. I have the same settings you list on the website, but I'm getting signals you don't have, like one at 8:31.50. 8:31.50. So let me look at my let me go to the website and look. I'm pretty sure I got these on the website this way. Let me look, Tony, and see. I'm pretty sure I'm running the same settings I have on the website. You're probably running the lower time frame one. No, I'm running the same settings on the website. Same ones. It's the same ones. Matter of fact, I even got on there the take your profit at 100 ticks for $500 a contract. That's kind of like the generic rule that we're looking for. So that's where you need to be. I'm going to announce in the Discord, in the Angler chat, I don't know why yours is different unless it's a data feed thing, but it shouldn't be. I mean, it shouldn't be that much off. So yours is 8:31.50. So if I bring this back, 8:31.50 right here. What are you showing, Tony? Are you showing another long, or I tell you what, inbox me, DM me, or send it in Angler chat. Do a screenshot and send it in Angler chat. Yeah, there's a hammer here, but what are you talking? What signal are you talking about? With what indicator? Yeah, it's definitely a long. I think I'm missing something in the conversation. I don't have Edge Finder on there, if that's what you're referring to. So if I turn Edge Finder on, maybe that's what you're referring to. Angular. I don't know. Angular doesn't look for hammers. Post a screenshot in the Angular chat, so I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. It should be the same signals as mine, and because there's no reversal here, I don't know. all you have to do is hit Win, Shift, and S. So Win, Shift, S. And then you drag your mouse across what you want to see. So like right here, if I wanted to take a picture of this, I would hit Win, Shift, and then press S, and then your screen blanks out, and then you just do this right here. You draw a circle or a box around what you want, and then you hit Control V to paste it in the chat. So you go to your comment section in the chat and hit Control V, and it will be. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and push. A lot of chop this morning. It's hard to trade it today. Very hard to trade today. Gets up around that balance and it don't know what to do. That win key is your Windows key. It's got like the 4 little windows on it. That's your win key. It's down on the bottom left of your keyboard. Mine is between the function and the alt key, but I don't know where it is on yours. It's just a Windows key. Man, I tell you, this is choppy today. And then just go into the comment section of Angular Chat and hit Control V as in Victor, and it will paste it there. And then you hit Enter, and it sends it. Do the whole chart so I can see everything. Your time frames, everything. Looks like we're about to go short here. I'd like to see a retest of the balance. The retest of the balance would be $600, but that's where I'd like to see it go. A retest of the balance would give me a lot better feeling. We never really, we come up retested here, but we didn't there. It may not. If we break the 82.50, then we will probably see that. At least down to this line here, the 74. Hit enter, just like you would a text. A lot of chop in right there, guys. A lot of chop. I tell you, my guess is we're going to sell down to 357. Okay, looking at your chart now, and I can't see the times at the bottom, so it's hard for me to Really tell what you're talking about. You don't have the full chart on there. I can't tell. You need to take a screenshot of everything on the chart, the whole chart, to where I can see the times on the bottom, where I can see the time frame. If I can't see that, I can't tell anything. Yeah, I think we're probably. I think we're probably going to go down to 357.75. Now, when the market opens here in 32 minutes, I mean, you could see a lot going on there. So let me open this back up and put this back on the 5-minute zones. Actually, I do have it on 5-minute zones. Yeah, that's right. But I think we will probably sell below this and probably go down to TP1. We never hit TP1 before. So see this big old trend line coming down from up here down to, really it's right here. So let me make this longer. So we went up, we tested that, we come down, tested again, we went right back up, but we're making a lower high here. So this could easily fall right on out. May come down back into this zone right here and bounce out now. But I think we're going to come back down into at least right here. It's my guess. But we broke out of that trend, and now we're kind of coming along retesting every time. But we could easily, I mean, it can go right on up. We don't know what it's going to do. All thing we can do is just do our best to guess where it's going to be. But we're hitting this trend line all the time. We just keep coming up and hitting it. It's trying to break through, but I don't know what it's going to do. Right there's our next place, but we've got our balance right there. We never hit that. good chance it's going to go ahead and hit it. TP1 is where I would estimate we're going. If we stay above that balance right here, then I would say we will probably be longs all day. So you've got your color bars that you have. I don't know what that is. Do you have a separate indicator that's doing that? Because what you have on your chart is a yellow and black, and that's not part of the indicator. So I don't know. The only thing part of the indicator is at the very bottom. The histogram is the indicator, but the signals that you see at the top that are yellow and black, or that's something else. I don't know what that is. We never hit the TP1 at 357, and it shot back up to the balance, and it's been up there the whole time, but it never went all the way down. So I still feel that's where we're going. I think that's where it's going. Could be totally wrong. Right now, it's just staying right around that balance. You don't want to move away from it. A big, huge drop would be great, and then a big run up at the open. Yeah, but your collar bars are something totally different. Maybe you don't have them turned on, and that's what's throwing you off. Go into your angular indicator and turn your collar bars on. They're not on. I tell you, it's rough right now. The chop is just crazy. A drop to 357 would be about right. That's a little over 100 points from where we are now. And then at open, we'd probably get a 200-point run. Sellers are really pushing that thing down. That big old wick there. Nothing but accumulation here. I'm just wondering if they're going to push it long or short. I really think we're going to go short down at 357. We're made lower highs right here. That's not to say we won't make a higher high here. We do have a little bit of a inverted head and shoulders there. Yeah, the only thing that you changed that would be different. Um, This is just major chop right here. It looks like they're trying to take it long. They're just going back and forth across that balance right there. Well, are we accumulating long or short? What's your all's guess? It's all accumulation. I hope none of y'all in this. So you can see what Angular does in chop now. It holds you out. You see all this chop going in through here? We're out to stay out. When you look at this, you've got one loss right there. This one would still be in green if you were in it, which I would not be trading any of this. You got to use your head on it. You got to stay out when you see stuff like that. You're looking at what is that? 480 to 512. So you're looking at 30-point chop. You can't trade that. There's not enough room in there to get in. Looks like they're trying to take it long. We're about 6 minutes away from open. We're staying within those levels of yesterday. Look right there, right to the tick. I still think that we're going to go down to the 357 level. May not, but that's what I think. 2 minutes to open, or a little less. Less than a minute. Well, they played right off that balance there. Stayed right across that. Looks like directions chosen. Usually about 6-7 minutes into the open, you'll find the direction. Looks like we're there. Down to TP1. That's our first stop. You got a zone there too. Bouncing off of that level there. And actually, I need to change my Ranger indicator to US Open. Now the only levels we're going to look at are the balance on US. I'd be careful taking any longs. played right on that yellow line there. We drew that yesterday. That's a very tough spot. So looking at our charts from open, we've got 685, 145, 60, 1390, 315. This would have been a loss, of course. And that one probably would have stayed in. Let's just say that you did there, and then you would enter here, up to there. There you go. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do, and you'd be done. So you're hitting your $500 targets. That's all you gotta do. So if you're trading 10 contracts, there's 5,000, 10,000. That's all you got to do. So right there's our pre-market high. Now we have a new session high of today. $1,100 right there. If you can't make money on this, you're never going to make money. Simple as that. If you can't make money on it, you might as well quit. It's a new session high. We broke the pre-market high. Going for the TP1. Where we're going. ES is trying to break the high of day. ES get across the 1150, then it'll have a new high of day. 11.75 will be a high of day. Looks like it's going to hit it. The TP1 is 38.16 on ES. So when you're trading, if you look at ES and NQ together, a lot of times NQ hasn't hit the target, but ES has. But that means ES will push more because NQ's got to fulfill its agreement too. So usually those two You can watch them, and if you watch them in together, then you'll know what the other one's probably going to do. ES needs to get to 38.16, so NQ will probably run up to the 6.15 as well. A lot of accumulation, or not accumulation, but a lot of selling off profits of the people that run it up. The institutions are taking profit right now. So they're not allowing the retail to run it up. They're trying to get their profits all out before 38.16 on ES and 6.15 on NQ. So they're taking all the profits right now, and they're just letting it come down, and the retail's buying it up. So ES is a few ticks away from a high of a day. It may bust through here or there, win a high of a day. Now it's going to run on up. Once you break that high of a day, then you'll see institutions start coming in and buying up more, because they know that the break, there will be a lot more money to be made, that is. So we've got ES and NQ both have a new high of day. We're looking to fulfill that TP1 on both. They still, neither one of them have done it. Once it hits, it's going to bounce down really hard. So you want to probably take profit before that TP1. Taking a lot of profit here. You'll see it reverse here in just a second. I'd be careful on that short. So bounced off the pre-market high. It'll probably run on up to the TP1 now. Volume really come in hard. So it went right up to it. Remember when I said you want to have a little bit before? As soon as it hit, it's going to pull back hard, and that's what happened. Basic trading, guys. Basic trading. guys, I've got things to do. I'm going to end this stream. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you make a decision on Angular. This will be the last stream I do. It's Friday, of course, but this will be the last stream I do live for people that do not have Angular. I'm going to do them live with the Angular lease people. If you are interested, I think I give you more than enough days to decide if this is for you. It's obvious that it works. And let me show you where you can go. So if you go to my website, SpyMoneyLLC.com, right here is Angular. You click on the lease button, and when you click on that, it'll open up. Currently, it's $800 a month. So that's how much you would end up leasing it for. There is no obligation. If you want to stop it, you can at any time. Most people make their money back on 1 to 2 trades, the majority of the people. And then after that, the rest of the month is all free. If you want to contact me, go to the contact page up here. Come down here, put your name, phone number, email in, questions you may have, and I will do my best to help you. I am the one that answers all these emails, no one else. But let me know what I can do to help you. You've got the weekend. This actually, if you lease it today, that would be good for you, because then you can play with it over the weekend. You can learn more about how to use it, watch some videos and so forth, and be a lot better in making a decision, or not a decision, but a lot better come Monday to be able to trade. So let me know what I can do to help you. You all have a great weekend. I hope you made lots of money today, and if you haven't made money yet, you probably won't make money. Later, guys.